I should close the closet. Okay. I just like having my closet closed in the background. I think it looks a little nicer. All right. Oh, crap. Need to do this real quick. I did not mean to close that. I mean, I did mean to close it, but I meant to minimize it, more importantly. Food. There we go. And checking. YouTube says I'm good. Twitch, I believe, says I'm good. Yes, it does. Nice. All right. Cool. Welcome back, everybody, to Vintage Story. I'm still on the search for that iron mine that or iron vein, or whatever, the iron reading I got. And I can't find the darn thing. But I happen to find a cracked vessel that had some tools, so I guess I'm going to use a flint shovel and a copper pickaxe for a little bit. But I did happen to get a good reading for copper. And there happen to be some ruins here, so I made a tiny little shelter out of them. And then made a little mine shaft down. So I have now good copper. But that's not what we're on the quest for. We're on the quest for iron, because if I can find iron, then I can use iron tools to do a bunch of work around my house. Because while I have steel, I don't want to use all of my steel. I've already used a bunch of it just making what I have now, so I'd like to save what I can. Save the steel for emergency use. Because all I've got left back at my old base are steel plates. And as awesome as those are, steel plates can't be really used to make any weapons. I mean, they can, but you waste an entire steel ingot doing so. So I'd rather save those plates for, you know, repairing armor or whatever, and not for making tools. And then I think I only have like 5 or 6 maybe steel ingots at my new base. So yeah, there's a bit of a conundrum, as I have to find iron so that I can get going here and get some proper stuff. I don't have a bedroll on my elk, that's fine. I usually keep one, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna try not to sleep super long. I want to sleep till about maybe 6. It's getting darker and darker all the time, so just need it to be about 6 o'clock. I guess 7 o'clock works fine too. Just barely daylight enough. So I got this location marked. Village should be that way. There is a wolf somewhere over here. I'm gonna try to ignore that. I don't have much food on me from my explorations of yesterday, so I really am just Really trying to find out where I found this iron reading before. I am pretty far south, let's see. Pretty far south, and I guess I'll be about, if I keep heading this way, neutral with my house. Kinda. I guess I'd be a little bit west of my house, maybe now. But I have just not been lucky in getting that iron reading, and I could have sworn it was in this direction before. And, you know, it doesn't look like I've been here before, so at this point, it's like I'm just trying to get new readings anymore. Well, we've got quartz. We need a density search, not a node search. Whoa, I fell all the way down. I don't have any building blocks on me. Somehow God, why? Come on. Somehow I threaded the needle and went into the one spot that was all the way down. No, give me that. There we go. Okay. Alright, so I think the iron mine being in this region is a lost cause. I probably need to head more south. But at least I found copper. And I still have a poor copper reading over here, but like the I guess it's not percent, it's per meal, something like that. It's French. Darn the French language. Making language complicated. Yeah, per mil. That's what I thought it was. So, 9 per mil, which sounds super weird to say out loud, because nobody ever uses per mil. But 9 per mil is, you know, not fantastic. If you have 10 per mil, you have 1%. But, like, that's really high. That's saying that nearly 1% of all blocks in that region, or in that chunk, are gonna be copper. Like, that's really good. Well, not are gonna be, but I guess have a chance to be is what I should say. Up, up, up. All right, we're back at my resin farm, kind of, if you want to call it that, I think, anyway. We're in the general vicinity of the resin farm. I think it's kind of over there. I am going to get rid of this birch tree, because it is being a little annoying. It's confusing me with all the other pines and stuff. Okay. So this pine here, we're just gonna look at the blocks. Nothing. Okay. So this pine needs to go away. As to not confuse me on my resin farm land. Big, tall pine. Oh, that's more than... whatever. First things first, check all these. Don't see anything. Keep looking. Keep looking. Keep looking. I doubt it's gonna be in this, but we're gonna keep going. Nope. Nope. No. Okay. No resin. And when we chop down this pine... Hey, cat, what's up? Chop down this pine, it should actually lower the amount of leaves on that one. I can keep looking. Though I'm getting distracted, this is not why I'm out here. Should be focusing still on my iron. So I guess abandon that and get back to what I was supposed to be doing. How you doing, cat? Good afternoon, morning, evening. I have no idea what time it is for you. For me, it's just about noon. Keep going south. See if we can't find that iron I stumbled across a few streams back. This pine is just begging to be chopped down. Yes, okay. There's something satisfying about clearing out a tree that's in your way. I really like terraforming. That's what I'm finding out, is I like terraforming. Taking something that's a little annoying and just being like, this is now a nice, smooth road. Or whatever. Vintage Story is one of those games where it's too easy to get distracted by something else. Yes, indeed. I'm supposed to be focused on iron, though. Iron because iron helps me make home improvements, which is ultimately my goal before it gets to be too warm. I would like to have a nice, steady source of food. And, you know, maybe get to the devastation in this next spring. I knew that was gonna happen. That's okay. Just means it'll be easier to dig out a larger spot. Since none of this wants to be stone. Noon here as well, so you're at the same time zone as me. That's nice. Good to know. Let's just dig down from here, at least a couple blocks, and see. We'll do a density search here. I guess. That's a bit of a problem. I need to make more space. That would only be 2, that would be 3. So I need to go 2 over. One, 2, 3. Grab that. Ultra high zinc. Well, that's good. I need zinc, but it's not what I'm looking for right now. Game, you're making life difficult. You want me to go on a adventure for a different resource? I'm never gonna remember where this is. Flint and steel tools is an awesome combo. Yeah, so I found a cracked vessel that gave me a flint shovel, and I know that I'm gonna have to do a lot of digging for, you know, trying to do prospecting and stuff like that, because I have the block gravity. And so I'm like, I'll use the flint shovel, why the heck not? And then having steel of everything else. And that's why I have a copper pickaxe too, is because I found that in a cracked vessel, so I was like, what the hell, why not? Also, welcome, M-Boy 2000. Yeah, block gravity is, I personally enjoy block gravity quite a bit, but, it can be a bit annoying when it comes to prospecting like this. I would rather have block gravity enabled, but I do agree that it can be quite a bit. I'm just using the resources the game is giving me. Well, we've got quartz. I don't really need quartz right now. But a good spot to prospect, I suppose. One. I guess two. And somewhere down here is fine. Very poor hematite. And still decent zinc. First thing that popped in my head was having full set of tools. Every one of them doubles as a fire starter. I love that too. Your brain is a beautiful thing. I agree. It's a little too much to me, or for me to want to play with, but I'm glad it's an option. Very funny to watch cave-ins happen to other people. That's specifically why I enjoy it. The most annoying thing about block gravity is that you can just have, you know, stuff like this where the whole side of the hill will fall down on you. And I don't necessarily like that because that can happen when you're just walking on it. But I do enjoy the fact that you can have cave-ins happen. And it's fairly easy to avoid a cave-in when mining, as long as you're paying attention when you're mining the blocks. So it's more of an awareness thing. I personally like it though, because there's something super satisfying about watching all the blocks tumble down. Like I could probably take away a couple of those blocks on this mountain and just watch the whole thing cascade down, which is cool. And I like landslides because it's not really a thing that's in other games. So I enjoy it myself, but I totally understand why people don't. Also, I'm about out of food. I should probably head back home now, unfortunately. I want to keep exploring, see if I can find this darn iron that I got a reading for iron like several streams ago now. It was probably like 3 or 4 streams ago, because I was gonna go find it, and instead I went on the home improvement spree. So it was a stream before I had home improvement, and then after that I was like, I'll find the iron, and didn't end up finding the iron, and now here I am again looking for iron and still haven't found the reading. I had I don't know, I think it was like 4 per mil, something like that. Which is, like, I think it came out as, like, a decent reading, so it's not even that high, but I just want to find it again. Not having a map, and, I'm making a new base after having wandered 25,000 blocks east, basically. So, like, not knowing this region very well, not having it mentally mapped out. it's been fun trying to figure out where the heck that was. It's gotta be, I just traveled all this way north and never really got a good reading. Or all this way south, so I gotta head north, I think. But I'm gonna go home first. But I found zinc and copper. At least got a good reading for zinc and a decent reading for copper. So that combination there is really nice because, well, I actually found the copper, but that's a good combination because that's torch holders, and my house is very dark right now because I don't have any wax to make any lanterns. So I'm relying off a torchlight. And thank you for the follow, M-Boy. Appreciate it. I don't know if you've seen any of my other streams or any of my YouTube content or anything like that, or if this is your first time, but welcome. I appreciate you being here with me today and hanging out as we chill and play Vintage Story. Do you play other survival games or watch other survival games? And boy, I'm thinking about... Well, I'm really looking forward to Subnautica 2 myself, so I've been starting to publish some Subnautica content for YouTube, and we'll probably get into Subnautica 2 pretty heavy once that's out. Oh, there are bees. Oh, hello. Do I go for the bees? Kinda need the wax. I mean, yeah, I'm probably never gonna find these again anyway, so... Come out, wherever you are. Bees. Guess I could chop down the tree. Two honeycomb. Hey, don't sting, Souffle. He did nothing wrong. It was all me. We're getting out of here anyway. I don't want to be in the water. Same reason I don't play with gravity on. I like looking at the mountains and such. Be afraid to walk near them. Ruin the view. So, yeah, like, I agree with, like, the gravity thing kind of ruining some of the stuff. Like, I really do enjoy floating land masses and things like that myself, too. There's also something, though, in my brain that's really satisfied with knocking down stuff like that and watching it collapse. So, like, I'm on both sides. So, for most things, if I appreciate the view of something, I leave it alone. But if I have to make my house or whatever, and there's a floating thing in my way that I don't want, I like having that block gravity there to, you know, be an option. And it makes my life just a little bit easier for that type of stuff, if you're trying to get rid of stuff like that. Or the caves that have a dead end and just a ceiling full of dirt. It's like, well, I could chip one block away and expose the other end of this cave so that I can get out of here easier. It's also fun to be able to use against creatures, so sometimes I've caused a cave-in on a drifter or something like that to eliminate it. There's a lot of other uses for it, but yeah, I totally understand too, not wanting to mess it up. Haven't seen anything else yet, just saw your stream on YouTube, came over here to watch it. Oh, cool. I appreciate you coming over on Twitch especially. I am trying to be affiliate status on Twitch and need more concurrent viewers in order to do that. So, yeah, watching on Twitch, I definitely appreciate. YouTube, you know, I am in the partnered program. I don't make a lot of money doing that, but I do make a little bit, so... But I'm trying to do both, you know. I want to stream and hang out with people and you know, reminisce over fun games that we all enjoy. I tend to be a survival game person, but I like a lot of RPGs too, and might do challenge runs in RPGs. But you know, it's just nice to have options. So I appreciate you being here. Vintage Story's been the only one I've been playing. Kind of ruined all of the survival games. That's true. So for me, Vintage Story has consumed basically the last year of my life. And, you know, I love that. I love that this game is that fun that I get to enjoy it that much. But, you know, this world alone has 400 hours. So, you know, I've put in a good fair chunk of time. I have a lot of stuff on YouTube, different challenges. I have an Arctic challenge, a desert challenge, a sky challenge, a night challenge. And each one of those is at least 40 hours. The Arctic one in particular is 80 hours or so, because that was standard time. I shortened the rest so that I can make the YouTube content faster. Otherwise, it would take me at least a month to put out a video every time. And I didn't want to have that, so I did shorten it for the other ones, but yeah, each one being, you know, a couple dozen hours, few dozen hours, you get a little bit fatigued of the same game over and over again. I need to find my way home. Why can't I see, game? How does this always happen? How does the terrain go from nice rolling hills to thick forest in half a second? And now I'm running probably the wrong direction because I can't see anything. Is that the village? No, it's a trader cart. I mean, I'll take it, but it's cold. I shouldn't be in a thick forest like this. What the heck? The lighting's glitching. The game's like lagging really hard for some reason right now. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. I cannot afford to die right now. I know I'm starving, game. You're just gonna have to deal with it for a second here. That's a drifter. What is this luck that I get? Well, I'm gonna have to eat some of this honey, I guess. That sucks. I was really hoping to save that. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. What is this luck? This is awful luck. High rift activity all of a sudden, and now I'm lost at night with no food. I was fine until I hit the forest. Oh well, we can wait. The average 5 viewers is so damn rough for Twitch. I've had other Rex for a long time now, but it feels hard to get the average up. Yeah, oh yeah. That me too. Yeah, no, I've got those are easy. But honestly, that's why YouTube is like better at the moment if you're trying to do anything with it. It's just easier to hit those numbers, but you have to know at least a little bit about video editing. So very understandable. I did a no crafting challenge thing. Turns out you need one craft for either a fire starter or oil lamp to beat the story location one and have all the running around kind of burned out for playing a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. God. The nightmare fuel that's outside. I guess I'm just gonna sit here. I have a bed on my elk, but there's nothing I can do with that right now. maybe I can, I don't know, do something cool here. There are so many drifters. This is ridiculous. Trying to throw rocks at me. This is wild. I was already subscribed because I watched those. No worries, dude. Yeah, the challenges have been very fun, but when you play, like you said, you know, you have moments where it's just like you know, end up playing for a really long time or do something really difficult. It's like, okay, it's time to take a break. The night challenge was not really the final one I wanted to do for a while. I still want to do ocean, and somebody made a jungle mod, which I really want to play. But the night challenge that I did didn't do as well as like desert or Arctic. The sky challenge didn't do as well as either of those, any of those three. And then my Subnautica video didn't do as well recently either, so I'm contemplating what I'm gonna go do next. Hey, hell yeah, what's up? Hello, I'm sneaking in. You auto shout out me all the time. So you get the auto shout out now. M-Boy, since you're new to the stream, haven't been in here in a little while. Helya and Kat are usually in my streams, which I'm very thankful for. But Helya also streams, and does some fun games. Currently playing Subnautica Below Zero, which is fun. At least for me, because I love Subnautica, so I enjoy watching new people get into it all the time and start freaking out at tiny sounds. Just like I did. But also plays cozy games, city builders and stuff sometimes. I will do a verbal live shout out too. Yeah, I know you don't do Thursdays anymore. I saw that on your schedule. It's like on Fridays now. I have to change that. I just noticed that before I started my stream today. The Sky one I really liked too, and I'm disappointed that it didn't do as well as Arctic or Desert. I get that Arctic and Desert are like vanilla locations, and Sky wasn't. I was hoping Night would do really well for content and stuff, because, you know, it's always nighttime, and we all know that this is what happens at night in Vintage Story. So I was like, maybe people enjoy that one. It's doing fine. It's still new compared to the other ones, so it's not going to have the numbers that the other ones have, but already looking at the numbers, it's more like the Sky one than the Arctic or Desert. So, yeah, it is what it is. Partner has deadlines on Thursdays, needs the internet, but maybe in late May our bandwidth will double because of fiber. God, there's so many drifters. Will you guys come, like, get me? They're throwing rocks at each other. Now they'll fight each other. Hopefully. Ow. Oh, ow. No. I forgot the crawling ones can actually fit in a block like that. Stop it. Man, I would really like to get my bed. I don't want to be stuck down here for the next day. Come on, get out of here. I love how the game just decided it was also the perfect time to switch rift intensity to high while I needed it to not be high. Ow. Stop hitting me. I know I'm starving, game. I get it. I need to carve these guys. Get out. Nope, not windows. Hello, game. This is bad. I'm in a very bad situation right now. There's, like, kind of nothing I can do. Ow! Stop! Stop throwing things at me! I need this guy to go away. I need to... Oh my god, that was terrible. Block. Of course you give something, because I need you to go away. There's so many of them. I'm not gonna make it home at this rate. I'm really not. This is very bad. I'm in a very bad situation. Really extremely bad situation. In the middle of the woods, with high rift activity because of course, no food because of course. And constant drifters because of course. This is so bad. Why do I play like I don't know how to play this game? And there's a wolf. Come on. This is the luck I'm talking about where I say, like, this is when I start debating on cheating stuff, because it's like, what is this right now? It went from calm rift activity to the moment it turned nighttime, high rift activity. And now I'm stuck in front of a rift with things constantly spawning. There is no way to get out of this situation. I have to just, like, try. I just have to, like, go for it. Because I'm not gonna make it. Or I just die here, which is inevitably gonna happen, honestly. I die here and I accept my fate and I try to... Let's not lose my lantern. Of all things, if my stuff despawns, I want my lantern there. There's also appears to be a lighting glitch. I don't know why that's happening. Because that should be way brighter than it is, but it's not. I'm not losing my steel pickaxe. I'm not losing my steel prospecting pick. Or my shears. Or my Falx Blade. I'll keep the armor. None of the other stuff here I really care about too much. I should be able to find this spot. Yeah, this was an unfortunate situation I got myself into somehow. I don't even know how that happened, but here we go. What time is it? Also, because of the weird lighting bug, I'm gonna have to, like, quit and reload, because there's something weird going on. I don't know why my game is freaking out and not putting stuff correctly. Also, hello, Napoleon. Meteoric iron is fantastic. I would love to be in the Arctic. But I did my Arctic run, and I have to do a year 2 Arctic run soon. I will save the meteoric iron for there. Not that it's not everywhere else in the world too, but yeah, okay. Hopefully nothing spawns while I try to sleep some of these hours away. Why did that not fast forward any time? Come on. Do the thing. Tick the clock, please. Like, what's happening? It still says it's 1 in the morning. Now it's 9. What the heck? Well, there goes a good chunk of daylight, because the game is being really weird right now. This is the type of stuff that I run into, like, when I play alone, I get this type of stuff, and then it acts fine usually during a stream, so I'm glad it's misbehaving now, so you all can see what happens. I don't understand why that's happening, but it is happening. I don't have even a flint knife. I'm not concerned about losing my stuff. I have a pretty good feeling that I'll be able to get it back. Yeah, the loss of nutrition sucks. It really does. It is the worst part about dying, for sure. I'm disappointed that I even died, because I was on my way home, then it just went... Like, I gotta learn that day-night cycles in this game are just instantaneous. Like, it just goes from, hey, you can see, to you can't see at all in about 10 seconds. Because I was wandering, and I was like, I'm going the way towards the village. I know my way forward. And then, all of a sudden, it was dark, and I was in a forest. I don't really know what happened. It just, like, that quick changed on me. I should probably, like, get a spear or something, but no. You know what? No. We're gonna wing it. It's fine. My terraforming brain wants to take all of this and just destroy it and make a nice, smooth path. But now is not the time for that. And then now I'm excited for none of this water to completely melt. Or not, you know, like, most of it's gonna melt, but there's still gonna be stuff that won't. They're apparently fixing that in version 1.22, but it's funny to me that it took this long for them to figure out why ice won't melt. Apparently the fix that they're doing, it feels like a hot fix. The fix that they're doing is like, if it's summer, delete all ice, basically, which makes sense, but like they said, it's no longer possible for ice to be around in the summer. I do want to flatten the universe. So you haven't seen this stream before. There was a while there. I built a 12,000 block path to the Lazaret. And that's what got me there, and then I used the map system to get me from there to the village. But yeah, I built a big old highway. It took me like a month. When you have no map, you have to build like a highway system. You just have to. It's really not possible for you to not get lost if you don't have landmarks and roads and stuff that tell you where to go. I'm gonna guess I was somewhere... I couldn't have been too far away, because I was heading towards the village when I got lost. But I know that I veered off course. Thankfully, I died right next to a trader. So we're looking for a trader in a forest area like this. The only thing is, there might be wolves, and that would be a problem. So maybe I should get rid of this stone. Maybe make myself a flint spear. Don't want that. I want the stick that fell. Because we did hear at least one wolf. Let's do this real quick. Give ourselves a little bit of defense. Oh, like that? Oh my god. Hi. Go away. Stop it. Why am I stuck in the tree? How do I always back into a tree? Shouldn't you want to run away by now? You've been poked multiple times. I missed. Get back here. Of course you dodged that. You decided to lay down the moment I threw that thing. Get out of here. The trees are trying to catch me. Terrain is my #1 problem in like every video game I play. I'm not even kidding. You know what this means is I might be able to spam the flute and get souffle back. If I can get to the area I think I'm at. I was in a very thick forest, so there's no way that it's this spot here. Part of me doesn't want to use the flute, though, because if I do, I might not find the location. It can be nice to have your elk scream his location to you. But I care more about being able to get around and travel than I care about it's my screaming elk revealing his location. We have to be like sorta in this mess. Have to. Yeah, in a lot of games, terrain always gets me. I like to play Destiny 2, And even in that game where you have superpowers and all this stuff, I will still flub my jumps all the time because I got my toe caught on something or whatever, or I get stuck in a doorway. Like, I'll be running around and I'll try to back away from an enemy and there'll be a doorway and I just happen to hit the arch of the door instead of the like the designated doorway. And they're large doors. You can fit 3 people through a door easily. But I always get stuck on stuff like that whenever I'm playing a game. And it's like every video game I play that happens to. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm just like naturally not aware of my surroundings like that. I feel like apparently when I back up that I just must be no longer have any obstacles behind me or something like that, because I catch every single one of them. Okay, there's a forest over that way. Good chance we're somewhere in there, maybe, because every forest I found so far is small. We were pretty far south here, so, and I didn't get to make it too far before I got lost. Come on. Come on, let me up. I hate terrain like this. It bothers me so much, where it's just a flat wall, and it's like, how did that happen? I feel like if you have terrain stability, this stuff shouldn't happen. It should just over time erode down and smoothen out. But that would probably take way too much processing power to calculate that stuff. I'm constantly getting stuck on everything. We're all brothers and sisters in collision detection, apparently. We're really good at determining where the borders of things are for objects. If they ever need playtesters to see if the map has collision, that's us right there. We'll find every single one of them for them. All the collision. Okay, this is looking more... This is looking a little bit more promising. We know that there's a trader somewhere. Hopefully, in this mess. Or it's a lot more sparse than I thought it was, and yet again is not the correct spot. It has to get more dense over that way. There's no way it's open like this all the time. I wouldn't have gotten stuck like that. Playtester, test player. I think it's playtester because it's supposed to be gameplay tester. That's been shortened down to playtester. But yeah, I mean, test player also works. Hey, seeds. What kind? Carrots? I don't really care about carrots. I mean, I'll take them, I guess, but I don't really care about them. I was hoping for something more fun, like peanuts or something like that. I love how you're so excited about the trader, and I'm like, where's my body? Don't let me die out here, game. Find body first. Like, where did I end up is the question. Where did I get stuck? Because this doesn't look familiar, but I also traveled quite a bit this way, so... Yeah, no bauxite. I think I need to go more this way. I don't think it's that one, because the one I had would, well, have my elk, and also he was in a forest like this. Now it's getting dark. It is calm rift activity. There's resin. That would be nice. I'm gonna eat this fat. Give resin. I wonder if it's in this mess. I don't remember seeing bauxite, but I don't know. Elk? Well, that's not a good sign. If he hasn't teleported to me, then it's either far in here or I'm in the completely wrong spot. Or it's not in here at all. This is not the thick forest that I died in. Like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. Why are these forests so small compared to the one that I died in? And this is why I placed my lantern and my steel pickaxe and prospecting pick. I mean, I guess it could have been over here if this area isn't covered in snow, because that's sort of what happened. I don't think there was snow where I was at. Does anybody remember seeing snow when I died? Like, any of the blocks give... There was snow, wasn't there? Because I think I had something push me. I don't remember. I do believe the trader has a lantern, and even if he doesn't, I know that I have my lantern placed. So there will be a light source in the thick forest. Oh, death, 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 death. Well, that was fun. I found the deepest spot I could possibly find. Yikes. And I don't have a torch up here anymore. I have one light source in my entire house other than another lantern, and it's down here. I'm good at Vintage Story, guys. No! Why do I always accidentally click spear? Every time. I want knife blade. Every time I accidentally click spear. There's like a 1 in 5 chance that I pick spearhead and not knife blade when I'm napping things. I'm so done with napping things. This is infuriating. So now it is nighttime again at the coldest part of the year, and my stuff will despawn now, except for the things that I placed, because it will have been more than an hour. I've still got to spawn here. Yeah. What to do? I really want my elk, but like, worse comes to worse, I lose the elk, I could get another one and find him later, eventually, someday. I think we go for it. I don't want to take the lantern with me. All this grass needs to go away too. I think we have to go for the elk and all of my other gear. It's gonna be gone by now. You know, I'm not certain that hostile mobs actually target your elk. Because every time I'm by, like, bears or wolves, they just don't do anything to him the whole time. I don't really understand why, but they just ignore him completely. So hopefully he'll be fine. I have had one accidental, like, I've had a drifter throw a rock and accidentally hit him before. And he fought back, but, you know, that's accidental hits. They don't seem to actually target your elk, which is really nice. Oh, this is not how this stream was supposed to go. I found copper. I found a decent reading of zinc. I was on my way back. And that's when I lost everything. Oh my god. Why? Why can't I have normal terrain? That's why I like landslides, even though I took a bit of damage. That's so much less work than having to take your shovel or punch dirt for the next 60 years trying to get a path. It just makes one for you. Yeah, this is gonna cause a massive thing. That's fine. Once again, I'd rather this happen. Fill in this spot. Terrain doesn't need to grow that way. Why am I, like, in a pit, though? Why did that happen? I don't understand why there's a random pit. I didn't go into anything. That's so weird. What is this terrain? I'm in a crater. Might as well be a volcano. The bees do what they want. I noticed the bees were attacking him. It's the first time I've seen something go straight for him. Okay, up. Up. What the heck, game? What was that? No. Up, please. Thank you. Not the trader I'm looking for. I'm going to blow up this rough terrain. I am seriously going to destroy it all. I hate stuff like that so much. Okay. Let's see if we can recover the elk. Now I don't have the bone flute anymore. Not unless I go hunt another wolf or something. Which I don't even have a tool for hunting. I'm realizing now. Please don't put my torch out. I don't want that. Is it possible that I was closer to my house than I thought? Oh, no! 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 I'm gonna die again, right now. Oh, put the torch away. Okay, he left me alone. Oh my god. You know, I was trying to collect things for a spear, but the game's not giving me any good rock. Please give me flint. Conglomerate. I guess I could probably use basalt, but I was trying to make flint. I have a piece of flint. I could nap the flint with a non-other thing, but like that's all I needed was right there. One that would give me 2 extra flint, because I want to make more spears. Flint spears are better, slightly better than the other stone spears. That's what I want. I want to make 2 of them. I have a feeling I'm going to have to go to war for my stuff. Bowtorn? No. It's morning. Go away. What's up, Red? I'm in a bit of a pickle. I'm about to lose all of my belongings. Probably already have lost most of them. So, oh, wolves. No. Terrain? Terrain? Hello? Whoa! What was that? What was that? What was that? Why does the game do that? I've had that happen so many times where things teleport like that. Why does that happen? Does anybody understand that? That happens a lot to me. If anybody has any clue why that happens and how I can avoid that, I would love to hear it, because that is always the most terrifying thing, when things end up just suddenly behind you for no reason. There's another wolf. You gonna do the same thing, or are you gonna go away? I'm gonna get stuck on terrain. Hey, trader cart, hold on. Am I here? I don't think I'm here. Different trader. Well, you sell beeswax, that's cool. Commodities is great. That could help me with my lantern situation if I ever find you again. I think this forest needs to disappear, and this trader no longer deserves his trader cart. Well, it's not this guy, but this is definitely a thick forest. This is probably the one I got lost in, would be my guess. But now, if it's not that trader, then where was I? What was that sound effect? That's the speech of the game. They don't have voice acting in here. So, if you've ever played, which you probably haven't, but if you've ever played Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together or know of those games, it's like that. Same thing, they have instruments for voices. Well, I am not close to it, wherever it's at. Tinderhoof. It's gotta be early for you, Red. What are you doing? You're watching Twitch at, like, 10 a.m. Or maybe 11. Why is there a shiver? Why is there a shiver? Rusty gear. Well, that's great, and I would love to have that, but I don't exactly have inventory space. One-hour-long phone call. You have those a lot, man. You had that the other night when we were talking. Ah, no! What is this? Why? What is this terrain? I'm just gonna get collapsed on. Like, I'm gonna take damage from this. It is Minecraft on steroids, basically. Yes, you are correct. It's what if you took Minecraft and said, get rid of all the lazy, boring stuff of making it super easy, and instead make it incredibly difficult and more realistic. What is this terrain, man? Why? Why did that have to happen to me? I really would appreciate my health. Minecraft, but good. Minecraft for adults. Yeah, Minecraft is a fine game. It's fine. It's just not it never went the direction I wanted it to. As someone who played really early versions of Minecraft, like not the early like alpha builds and stuff, but you know, before there was even hunger in that game, I was excited when they added a hunger bar because I'm like, "Oh, so survival, like you have to eat." And then they were like, and then magic, and then enchanting, and then like all this crazy stuff. Elytras, the end, guardian fish things, ocean temples. Like, at least before, desert temples and stuff were like kind of rare and mysterious, and why are they there? And like everybody knew about the whole, you know, whatever, the TNT at the bottom, the booby trapped thing. Why can't I don't want to eat the mushroom, I want to talk. Furniture. Goodbye. You know, so it like used to be like, oh, desert temples were like rare and weird and cool. And then they were like jungle temples, ocean monuments, shipwrecks, which is fine. It makes the world a lot more alive, but then they just like the enchanting and all that stuff ruined it for me, honestly. The alchemy and enchanting and stuff. I was like, when they added the end, it was fine, but then they did the update to the end where they were like, and now end cities and elytra, and you can fly using fireworks. And I'm like, I don't like that. It does not. How is this in any way survival? And the answer is it's not. It became only sandbox with a hunger bar. So at that point, just remove the hunger bar. There's no point. So yeah, that's when Minecraft kind of lost it for me. I was like, you didn't go the direction I wanted. If they were like hunger and like more interesting mining and like seasons like this game has, that would have been the better direction for me in Minecraft. Only survival game I've done outside of Minecraft was Ark. Ark is really incredibly fun too for its own reasons. So crazy to me that they have done nothing about the villager. Yeah, like the whole thing about just like abusing the villagers so that you can have every material you want and everything that you want, and like I don't know, there's just so many ways to exploit Minecraft, and like that's what's cool. You can do challenges, like that's where Skyblock comes from, and that's interesting, but like I don't know, it just feel like it lost its touch, especially when they added villages originally. They were just like, this villager, he has a random chance to be anything. Villages have a random chance to have, you know, like, they could have 3 houses, they could have 20 houses, you never knew. You know, there was all this, like, RNG to them, and then it became, like, you can assign them jobs, and you can reset the jobs, and you can do like infinite trades, and then they had the wandering trader who appeared in front of your house. And I was like, you're taking all of the difficulty out of this. Part of the fun of Minecraft is having to like, I want sponges. I must go where sponges are and go get them. And now it's like, nah, you just trade them. It's fine. Which, fair. That's kind of how trading works. But like, I don't know, I think that's the fun part of a survival game, is having to actually go get the resources that you need. And now I'm freezing once again. I should build a shelter. But like, I gotta be close. I'm going the right direction. Tiny little cave. This works for me. Perfect. We'll just warm up by putting our face in front of the torch. Hey, Demon, what's up? Minecraft's biggest strength is its modability. Yes. Absolutely. And, like, that's how I play Minecraft anymore. But it's even things like, I love the animations in this, and I know there are mods for Minecraft to do animations. And I've said it before, but the one problem I have with mods, and it's nothing against the modders themselves, but it's because it's independent, nothing works together unless they take the effort to make it work together. And that's the one thing that I despise about modding, is that you can have game-breaking bugs, and sometimes the modders are cool. You report them, they fix them, they make it compatible with other big mods. Other times, if it's a problem, you fix it, or don't, and just don't run them, because they're not compatible with each other. And that's one thing that I dislike, is just the whole, like, you know, I decided to get, you know, maybe better looking trees, and also the ability for them to topple, because I don't want to, you know, chop every single piece of wood. They'll be like, great, those two aren't compatible. So now there's floating wooden blocks because you had, you know, better looking trees with actual branches. So now there's floating wood blocks because they don't topple over. It's like, all right, cool. What do I do about that? Fix it myself? I don't want to delve into that. That's why I appreciate Vintage Story being its own independent thing, because it's got all the really cool stuff where vanilla Vintage Story, as it is, and as they keep adding updates to it, is exactly what I wanted from Minecraft, and I don't have to worry about downloading 500 mods to turn it into this, you know? This is the game I want. That's why I like Vintage Story so much. Sponge you can't get from villagers, but you can get them from wandering traders, I believe. And they only ask for emeralds. So you go to a village and you sell them their own wheat, and then anytime a wandering trader appears, if you get sponges, great, now you have them. I played on a Cobblemon server for a while there. It was cool. Good curated mod packs that actually put in the effort to make things work together well are rare, but they're always incredible. Yeah, and like that's the thing. So there was a mod pack I got, a buddy of mine from my last job. He started a Minecraft server that basically turned Minecraft into Diablo, turned it into an RPG with random loot and like classes and stuff like that. And it was neat, but the problem that I had with it is that it wasn't balanced really. So like the one thing that I picked was I picked like this class called like the Ghost or something. I don't remember what it's called. Wraith, the Ghost, Spectre, something like that. And the class was supposed to allow you to, like, at the cost of HP, like, I think you were just ultimately weaker than another character. So you sacrificed your max HP, but it allowed you to go through solid blocks. And you could do that to, like, go into dungeons and loot stuff. And mobs obviously couldn't follow you because they can't go through solid blocks. It was really cool. But also, like, I forget what else happened, but, like, you went into it and I don't know if, like, you couldn't see either. That was the way they balanced it. So if you did that, you could be kind of blind. And so it was, like, really, really cool. And I picked that class, and I was having a little bit of fun with it, but then, like, I couldn't get my abilities to work very well. And so, like, I asked him, because he was the server owner. I asked him, I'm like, hey, do you know how this works? And he, like, dug into it, because he likes modding himself. He actually makes some Fallout and Skyrim mods and stuff. And, like, he dug into it a little bit, and he was like, yeah, apparently that one just doesn't work sometimes. I'm like, great. The one class I wanted to be just doesn't work sometimes, and that's apparently acceptable. So I was like, man, that sucks. Also, apparently with this mod pack thing that we had, there was no way to, like, respec or change your class, so he had to, like, delete my character and I had to start back at level 1. And he was like, well, why don't you join me and the other guys and we'll help level you up? I'm like, because I'm level 1. You guys are just going to go kill everything. I can't fight it. And you're just gonna win everything for me. Please don't. Please don't. Please. No, I don't need a bear right now. Okay, he got stuck on a tree. Good AI. We love good AI. But like, I was like, man, that just takes all the fun out of it for me. I never like being the anchor when I play a game. I insist when I play with my friends that we play together, because otherwise I just feel like a burden to the entire group. And they say, like, you know, oh, don't worry about it, but like, I personally feel like a burden. Nobody tells me that I'm a burden. It's just how I am. So like, I find it very hard to get into that type of stuff because I've had just a number of bad experiences like that. I prefer my games to be good at vanilla. They always work and everybody makes it work. Drifter, as long as I run away from him, I probably shouldn't have too much of a problem. If I die again, I guess I just don't have an elk for a while until I find another treasure hunter and buy one. I don't have my lantern, I don't have my steel tools. That's fun, but, you know, I survived long enough without one, I can do it again. I somehow have yet to stumble across the one forested area that I apparently ended up in. I don't know how I managed to screw myself like this yet again, but here we are. This is my last hope. Oh yeah, and MMOs kind of the same thing. Is like people be like, oh yeah, just we'll help you. We'll do this thing. We'll help you get through the low levels so you can get to the fun stuff. I'm like, okay, there's two arguments I have with this. One, if the low level stuff is not fun, bad game. Two, if you're trying to rush me through the content and it's not bad content, then you got to enjoy it at your own pace. Why don't I get to enjoy it at my own pace? Shiver no, shiver no, shiver no, shiver no, shiver no, shiver no, shiver no. Bear, oh my god, of course! Alright, well, that was my last respawn, so we're using a temporal gear, and we're considering that a lost cause. RIP. Someday I will wander out there and find my other elk, but... oh, that's a setback. That's okay. We can persevere. Alright, I've got 10 steel ingots. Charcoal I keep not in there. I would think I would have it in a crate. What am I doing? That. This. I don't have a torch down here. Oh, I do have a torch down here, actually. I have a torch and a lantern here. Then, yoink, this lantern's mine. Torch. Souffle will be found. He is, like, what's annoying about this is he's not that far away. He is within a day's journey from here. It's just I don't know where, so... eh. He will be found and he will be safe. Yeah, I want to play a game, not sit there while you play for me, yeah. Yep, that's where I'm at with that type of stuff too. I lost my backpacks, but I have leather, so it shouldn't be too bad to make those. Where's my leather? In here? What's a backpack again? How do I make those? Backpack. $20 sticks is probably fine. I lost my rope ladders. That sucks. I had over a stack of rope ladders. Oh well. What can you do? Folks. I wish I could, like, pay a villager to go find my elk for me. Because they've got a guy who's like a ranger. He goes out and, like, forages things and hunts and stuff like that. It'd be nice if you could be like, hey, I don't know where my elk is at. If you see him, bring him back. And there's, like, you pay him, like, 30 gears, and, you know, in, I don't know, a couple months, he comes back with your elk. Because the flute that summons him is great and all, but, like, kinda sucks that it has such a limited range and that it doesn't just bring him back from wherever he's at. But then again, if I had a map, I could just look at my map where I died and mark it and go straight there. So this is part of me having a problem, but I don't know. Why am I spinning this all the way around like that? Why did I do that? I am not thinking right. This, then this, and this. Okay, Falx Blade, cool. That's one. Pickaxe is gonna be lost, so we're gonna have to make one of those. Lost my prospecting pick, lost my knife, lost my axe, lost my shovel. This is why I was going for iron too, is so that I wouldn't waste all this steel. I could just make iron tools and save the steel ones for, like, when I'm on a big journey. I'm gonna go build a new house somewhere or something like that. Oh well. Yes, Red, we do forge manually in this game. It's really cool. Vintage Story is really, really fun like that. It has great mechanics like this. There's also the ability to quench your stuff, and they're changing that in the most recent update. They're gonna have a way to, like, quench everything, and have that actually matter. For tools, currently, it's just faster for you to just craft it. Just to be like, hey, I've got the tool head, that plus stick, because it instantly cools it off and there's no detriment to not doing it that way. But yes, it's very cool. I love Vintage Story. It's a difficult game, but, like, these mechanics are super fun. Crap, I want this. Because currently, quenching doesn't really do anything other than cool the thing down so you can use it immediately, but that's what the whole point of just using your tool instantly is for. A starve. So I have to go downstairs again and grab some food. Hello, Shiver. What the heck? How did you manage to... What did you do to my house? Where's my ladders? Why? I'll fix that in a second, I guess. We're back to stone knives for a while until I find iron. I'm gonna resort to using basically stone and maybe... Wait, why did I do that? I don't want that there. Stone and maybe bronze. My last pie, so I'm gonna have to make more food. There's my ladder. Yeah, that Shiver really did redecorate. He caused a big old problem. Nothing I can't fix real quick, though. Just need 6 blocks. Get out of here, Drifter. Yeah, enjoy the landslide. Nobody asked for you. Go away. Problem solved. And the Shiver's not even here. He despawned or something. Alright, that means my last iron or steel ingot is cold now. That's fine. Well, this puts a delay on things. We'll make the shovel. I need the prospecting pick too, so I should grab another one of these. Oh, man. Disappointing. This is such a setback. Oh, well. If only I had, you know, proper light sources in my house. And all the other fun stuff. Whatever, it's gonna be spring soon-ish. So, when spring comes around, I'll start growing crops, I'll make better stuff. I'll get bees and wax finally, I can make lanterns, light up my house. It's all gonna take so much work. Why can I never find prospecting pick? There it is. This also means I'm never going back to my original base, not until I get another elk. Because it's too far for me to travel on foot. It's 25,000 blocks, which means the steel that I have is the steel that I have. There's no way for me to make a journey over to my other base to go make steel or anything like that. This is it. So I've got like 5 ingots left. So we're gonna spend the rest of the stream today, I think, coming up with a landmark system and how I can find my way back to my house better from here. And not confuse it with my other landmark system, which points me back to my original house. And I think, for that, I'm gonna need signs. Lots of signs. But first, sleep, and then food making. There's an indicator, and you know, I'm just thinking now, you being colorblind might impact it a little bit. So I don't have it right now, but since I just got done with forging, but there are these outlines of the little squares, the voxels, and the ones, there's like a little green outline, and yeah, I think the fact that you're colorblind is going to affect that. Oh, it's so sad. We found yet another thing that affects your... I need food. It's affected by your color blindness, my guy. They have little green outlines of where you're supposed to... Hello. Where you're supposed to move the voxels to. And then the ones that are in the wrong spot or don't need to be there at all will be outlined in black. Temporal gear. Hey, at least I got something for my troubles today. The dream lives on. Change the color of it if you remember. Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never, is that a thing? Accessibility, maybe? No? Interface? And maybe if I turn up my view distance and use the flute, maybe if I do that, I can find my elk. The biggest thing is I want to find where I died. There's a lantern there, there's a pickaxe there, there's steel shears, there's a prospecting pick. I don't care really too much about the things I lost other than the rope ladders. But the elk itself has some wood, copper spears, like a bunch of just nice to have things. It kind of sucks losing them and having to start from square one. The saddlebags, that's annoying. The fact that I have to remake the elk medallion for my new elk. You know, all that stuff is the annoying part. I don't want to have to remake. So maybe if I build like roads and paths and stuff, I'll be able to find him again. I wouldn't be surprised if they have color options. They seem to be pretty... I mean, I don't want to say, like, super accessible, but they do seem to be... You know... This game feels pretty good. There's probably mods for more accessibility, too, and... Man, being colorblind really... That's really gotta suck, man. Like, I know it probably doesn't happen too often to you, and it's not an uncommon thing to have, especially in other guys, but, like, that's gotta suck at times. Like, so, this is how we found out this guy was colorblind. Red and I have played Destiny for years. And there was a raid. Well, I guess it's not how we found out, but it's the one problem we had with it. There's a raid in Destiny called Deepstone Crypt, and it's a very, very fun, short, somewhat easy raid. And in one of the encounters, the enemy you need to shoot, or whatever, damage, will glow a big yellow glow around him. Or actually, it's a white glow around him normally, but the one you're supposed to get is a yellow glow. And this guy got assigned the one task, and none of us were thinking about this. He got assigned the one task which was supposed to tell us which one was glowing yellow versus which one was glowing white. And he's all like, I can't see it! And we're like, oh my god, we gave the color spotting job to the colorblind guy. Why did we do this? Why did that happen? So that was a good laugh, and that's when we remembered, you know, maybe not that. Maybe don't do that. He can have the job where he has to shoot things. And again, Destiny has a colorblind mode, but for his specific colorblindness, according to what he said before, it's not so much specific colors he can't see, it's overlapping colors. Although you might also have red-green colorblindness, if I remember correctly, but... We forgot, hell yeah, we forgot. We were just a group of guys BSing our way through a raid for a good night of fun. You know, spend an hour or two doing some stuff as a clan, hanging out. And we just didn't even think about the fact. Because do you have red-green colorblindness, or is it just, like, the layering thing that you were mentioning before? It's just the layering. Yeah, and like that's a type of color blindness I had never heard of before I met him. You know, because most of the time if you are colorblind, Destiny has colorblind settings. Most big AAA games do. So, you know, for red-green color blindness, that type of stuff, you can just change it and then you see those colors correctly. But that's not... He has, like, a specific layering color blindness I've never heard of before. Where he can't see, like, yellow on top of white because they're super bright colors, very light colors that stack. And it never would have occurred to me that happens. So... yeah, you'll have to... Red, you'll have to share maybe what type it is if you know, or like I don't know the name of it. But basically it's overlapping colors that are too similar in hue. So like yellow and white, or maybe purple and black, or you know, like that type of stuff. Dark colors on top of other dark colors, or light colors on top of light colors. It's apparently something like that. It's at least my understanding of it. And I had never heard of it before. Fair enough, hell yeah. That's alright. I was gonna make another torch. Right, I need grass. And maybe I'll find my elk in the springtime when it's a little warmer and I don't have to worry about the cold and it being longer days and that type of stuff. Maybe I can make that work. But for the time being, Souffle is on his own. He gets a vacation as I figure out what to do. But right now, the current immediate problem is I need to have torches. Torch in my inventory for committing arson. And a torch in my house in the kitchen. The bees I don't think are gonna produce enough for me to be able to harvest honeycomb from them because it's too cold. I looked at them when I started today and it still said like poor population and just populated, not harvestable. Unfortunately. So I think I have to wait till spring. I just got into the bee farming a little too late because I was establishing a settlement. Wasn't thinking about bees. Maybe I just want to look at the bees. Well, I have to make food first, otherwise I'll die again, and that would not make me very happy. We will look at the bees as soon as I'm done making bread. All right, Halia. See you in a bit. Hopefully, anyway. Ah. My neck. Alright, well, not just because Helia's gone, but because I got downtime and I want to keep conversations going. Who plays D&D? Raise your hand. And if you do, help me. I have to come up with an interesting story for a mini campaign, and I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to go about it. And if any of those people in my mini campaign are here, which it doesn't look like there is, but if they are, they should leave now, lest you be spoiled. You find the name of the color blindness you have, Red? And Cat's played a bit of D&D, but not very much. That's fine. I still think you can contribute. It's a combination of minor red, green, and blue, yellow. Interesting. Does it have a name? Or it just says, congrats, you don't see any colors. So what I'm doing for this mini campaign is it's you know, I'm not building a whole world here. I've built like a small region. And in this region, I want to have a group of people that have like basically they found this location and they settled here not really unwillingly, but like how to phrase it, I guess. They settled here because they didn't really have any other options. So what I've got going on in terms of my ideas for this campaign is that it's a tribe of people. It could be orcs. It could be any group of people. I have orcs right now just because I think it'd be funny. But the overall idea that I have for this mini campaign is that there are... Oh, I didn't put any bread in here. I'm just being dumb. I want to have like a couple gods sort of messing with this group of orcs or whatever race of people. I chose orcs. I want them to like mess with them and the party to kind of be thrown in the middle of these two messing with each other and messing with the orcs. So I want to have like a benevolent god that's kind of fighting against the evil one, and the evil one that's just messing with them, you know. And so I don't want the gods to appear exactly like in front of them, you know, some apparition or anything like that. But what I'm struggling with is I don't know which gods I should use and what I should do, and B, how I get to this point, because I think it's just going to be some like agents that are trying to work for the gods themselves. And so what I have is like it's a deserty area, but like one area is an oasis, and that's where these orcs have settled down, and the other area is well, like across the river it's all desert. And so I have like a gold statue across the river, but like anytime people go over there, they go crazy or some catastrophe happens to them. So like that'll be like the evil side of things. And then I have on the other side by the oasis, you know, it's good, things are fine, but like they're kind of constantly being drawn to go investigate the other side, and so their numbers are like dwindling. I'm almost debating about having a third god in there, because like I have a set of like black ruins that don't really do anything in the moment, that I want to have maybe like a third force of some kind that's either in the middle or whatever. And I kind of want like the party to either, you know, to pick who they're going to side with, essentially. But I don't want to do a pre-made campaign because I find those boring. I don't want to do a pre-made campaign. Boring. I want to be creative. I want to have fun with it. I want to push it around. I don't want to just take something and modify it. Though I appreciate the suggestion. Want something new, creative, fun. I've DM'd a little bit before, so I'm not scared. I'm just still fairly new at it. This is only gonna go for like 4 sessions. 4 to 8. So the mini campaign is literally like, these people have never played D&D, so the scale doesn't have to be big. The scale is like, they're gonna do like 3 combat encounters, and they're gonna talk with some people in town, and then it's gonna end. So I can handle that much creativity. I'm not devoid of that much creativity and ability to learn things. Like, that's the thing, is like, we're not talking about anything long here. If I was running like a year-long session, I might do a pre-made campaign, but they are all new to D&D. We're not even sure if they're going to stay in D&D. Like, this mini campaign is like the testing grounds for some of them to see if they even enjoy D&D. So they're doing wacky things. I'm gonna let them do wacky things, and we're just gonna have a good time with it. You know, nothing too crazy. There doesn't have to be this developed story. It is so short that it's like, maybe they go into town and they just, you know, eliminate the town. It doesn't exist anymore. I'm happy with that. I don't care what they do. I want them to experiment and have fun with it, basically. That's not a bad idea, Red, although I personally have not played that much Borderlands 2. I got tired of it somehow. Even though people love that game, I just got really tired of it somehow. Oh, I am muted because I was stretching. So, what I was saying is, if anybody has suggestions for gods to mess with the players, I will take suggestions. My idea is to have one that's like, I want to have like a madness god. Somebody that's insane that would just mess with people for fun. But all the ones that I've looked up and read about are like really evil or like so ambiguous. How do you work off of that? Because like they're just like, they're so evil that they themselves are insane, and their whole thing is that they just destroy everybody around them. It's like, well, I don't necessarily want that. I don't want the god to be insane unless his whole thing is that he makes others insane for fun. That's what I'm trying to go off of. You know, like Sheogorath from Elder Scrolls. But I can't seem to find an equivalent, because Sheogorath is not necessarily incredibly evil himself. He messes with people. But he's also crazy. And that's the thing, there's not going to be direct contact with them. It's going to be like a guy who follows him that tries to do things in his stead. And, you know, so I need somebody that would make sense for. And all the gods that I ever read about are like, their followers can be a bit crazy, but they're also a bit murdery. And it's like, well, I mean, that makes sense, but like, the god themselves is not that way. He is just this dark, ominous, wants to destroy everything in the world type of person. That's ultimately what I want, is kind of what you said, is like, just an insane god that's like, he lets people mess with each other because he finds pleasure in it, and not like, you know, he doesn't have to get directly involved himself. I don't need to go that overbearing. But, it's just hard. I can't, like, everything I'm seeing is like, this person's crazy. And by crazy, we mean that they just eliminate everybody in their path. It's like, I mean, yes, but also, like, where's the fun insanity? Where's the pure madness of, like, I gave this guy incredible power just to see what it would do. Not, I gave this guy incredible power because he might, you know, cause conflict. It was like, just for fun. I don't care what happens. They do have canon D&D gods, though I'm fine with homebrewing if I have to. I would prefer to have, like, a named one. I don't know anything about 40k. Maybe grab a follower that has hilariously misread the scripture. You know, that could be true too. Because that's kind of what I want, is like a follower that is doing something crazy, not necessarily, like I said, the god themselves doing anything crazy. So maybe that's what I'll do. Something along those lines. I didn't even consider that. That's why we're brainstorming, is coming up with ideas. Because at the end of the day, what I want to have is, like, good, pure-hearted individual or force of nature or something versus crazy, insane individual or force of nature. Thought I was getting attacked. I was getting attacked. I see you back there. Yeah, I mean, chaotic neutral is probably more aligned that way, yes, than chaotic evil, because chaotic... Oh, hello. Chaotic evil is very, like... It's just very evil. It's like, I do this because I want to basically end everybody around me. And it's like, where's the playfulness? Where's the stuff that's like, I did this because I was bored one day. That's what I want. But if you look up Gods of Madness in D&D, you get like... Ah, there's one that starts with a T that I can't think of his name. And it's like, he's the chained god. He wants to destroy the universe. He's not happy unless literally everything is gone. And I'm like, that's not fun. That is just pure evil. Like, that is the Antichrist of the D&D world. And it's like, I don't want that. It's like, he himself is insane. And I'm like, great, but he's not... He's insane, but what he stands for is just being evil. And then you have, like, there was, what's his name? Cyric. And Cyric was, like, once a human, turned into a god, went mad, then regained his sanity, and is now just, like, the god of strife. Used to be deception and sort of insanity and all this other stuff, but now it's just strife because he has recovered. And I'm like, that's not fun. That's not fun. I mean, I could always set the things during a time point when he is insane, but like, he is just all about like creating conflict for the sake of conflict. It's like, I guess that's sort of there. And then there's like a drow god and a and like a worm god, like an old one that nobody understands anything of, and there's no history or story on it. Just a being that some weird worm creatures prayed to. And I'm like, what? Oh, that's a big old bear. Hello. I should build a pit. I've got wolves, I've got a bear. We need a defensive pit where nothing can climb out of. So, yeah, anyway, that was my predicament, is I'm just not sure, like, what god should be involved or referenced to. Because everyone I found is like, it kind of works, and I could make it work, but I was hoping that there would be, like, an actual just crazy god. Literally just insane Elder Scrolls style Sheogorath. Just to be like, no, man, this guy is crazy. And he is actually messing with them just because. And so, like, the party would go and, like, find the servant of this god that is also crazy and, you know, take him out or something like that. That's kind of what I had in mind. Wouldn't take very long. Small sessions. Nothing crazy. Come here, wolf. Hey, you. Okay. Wolf in the pit. Got it. Okay, next. Wherever that bear was. He's out here somewhere. Yeah, and I like that angle. I do. I like that idea that the follower misinterpreted something or whatever, and that the god is actually not bad themselves. And maybe there's that conflict of, like, the party goes to get rid of this follower because the follower is actually crazy. I don't mind that angle either. So I may go that route, because that does seem maybe just a little bit easier to deal with, because then you're only dealing with one god. In which case, though, what god could be misinterpreted on that scale, where somebody would hear an order that they end up following incorrectly? Like, it would have to be, like, a god of death or something that would be, like, but they themselves are not evil, they're more neutral. And this person is, like, eliminating people because they think that they're supposed to do some crazy stuff. Because what we're also doing for this really, really tiny campaign is we're doing a thing where everybody's starting at around level 3, and I also didn't really care about their starting stats at all when I did this, because I was like, look, I think it's fun to have super high spikes and super low spikes. If we do a real campaign, we'll care about your actual stats and getting them, like, fair and balanced, but more or less everybody had around the same base total. So some of them are starting with like darn near 20 in a stat at level 3, which is ridiculous, but we're only going to go to maybe level 4 or 5. So they get to understand like what it's like to level up, how to add new abilities, that type of stuff. You know, and if they win, great. If they don't, great. Like, they're not in it for a story so much as they are in it to see if they like the actual gameplay. So, like, this is all basically, like, informal sort of winging it just to see if people like it. Because they're busy, and, you know, a lot of them are like, I'm not sure this is for me, but I'll give it a shot. So, let's go fun with it. Let's go crazy. And I already have, like, the first, you know, few sessions mapped out. I just don't have the overall, like, who's the big bad. I'm cold. I have to go warm up. I built a pit, and now it's 11 o'clock, and I'm freezing. Dang. All right, I have to use the restroom, so I will be back in a couple minutes. All right, I'm back. All right, it is 2 o'clock, getting dark. I need to check the bees. They're probably still too cold to do anything. Populated, yeah, poor, yeah. That's what I thought. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so what I need to do is make a series of... I don't have signs. Right. I need to make a series of landmarks that I can use to tell where home base is. I want them to be different than what I did before, though they probably won't be. I still have my saw, so that's good. I can get some larch boards, although it doesn't matter for a sign. I guess it could be anything. What do I have for wood? I got a lot of larch. Well, maybe we can do some of that. The problem with signs is that you need charcoal to write on them. Which is not the worst thing, but it's a little annoying. Does it have to be charcoal? Can brown coal work? I got tons of brown coal around me. I'd rather use that up. Oh boy, what is a sign? 2 boards and a stick. Easy enough. You cannot use brown coal. It's literally everything but brown coal. Alright, fine. That's a normal sign. Maybe I'll keep a normal sign here. And then there's a sign post. Just 2 sticks and 1 board. I'll grab some more sticks. I got a bunch of them. And I think the best chance for me finding iron, since I haven't had any really good readings south, is going to be north. I haven't had really any good readings any direction, but north is the area I've explored the least, which is why I built the pit that has the wolves in it now. Because, I'd rather not get rid of all of them. I want to get the bear in there too, because if I can, then that'll be much, much better. Because then they can't respawn. But they're also not a problem. Oof. Lag spike. Let's just fill this in. We'll start making this area a nice flat field instead of whatever the heck it's trying to be. Really want to find that bear. Oh, he's right there. Hey, bear. He's chasing a fox, I think. Hey, you. He's gonna get me. Ow. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's not okay. Really? He hit me so fast that 3rd time. That was dumb. That should not have happened. He hit me once, then there was a nice, like, 2-second pause. He hit me a 2nd time, and then there was, like, no pause. He just hit me a 3rd time. If I had 1 second, I would have jumped the pit and he would have been in there. But no, game said no pause between attacks ever. I am so unlucky today. That's okay. Nutrition doesn't matter anyway, because I don't have good food on me anyway. And it's worth it to get this darn bear trapped in this pit. Though I probably should have found like a rock or something and just threw it at the bear. There you are. That's right, get your fuzzy butt back here. Grabbing my stuff. You! Bear! What the heck, man? I don't... Rock. Where'd you go? Oh, you're right there. I'm blind. Come get me. Goodbye. Thank you. You get to stay down there. Maybe I'll do that. See, that's really what should have happened the other time, but he double hit me somehow. And I'm putting this here so he doesn't, like, somehow climb the ladders. He shouldn't, but he might. Okay. So I can very clearly see my house from a good distance away, so it's a matter of when I can't see my house anymore, I gotta start building things that tell me where to go. And I'm more worried about finding iron than I am about finding my elk. It would be nice to have my elk again, but I can't even hope to begin where he's at right now. And it's gonna be a really, really long journey to find him. So I'm gonna wait for spring for that. That's a shiver. Stop chasing me. Bro, chill out. All right. We'll get some rest. Once again, thank you guys all for being here today. I appreciate it. It's been fun hanging out and chatting. All right. Ooh, dark. Well, I suppose since I'm waiting out the winter, I might as well work on my floor. I'm gonna need a lot of wood for that. Should I do a light grain wood like this for the floor as well, just to match the ceiling? Or should I do like I have walnut. Walnut looks like... where's plank? Like this. Do you think a darker tone for the floor would be good, or is that too many colors? A green floor. I'm sort of the opinion that I should keep it the same, have a lighter floor. So I guess that's what I'll do. Since I don't have any votes one way or the other. I'm sort of the opinion too. Of that. It looks... I like the darker walls, and I think you want to have a light color to contrast the dark wall. So that's what we'll do. I'm gonna need a lot of planks. Let's start with that much for now. And then I want the grain to match, so it's gotta go that way. I can go in the smithing spot. So during the day, I will try to make a path and hopefully find iron. During the night, I will try to work on my floors, but I'll sleep to speed things along so that spring gets here even faster. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I didn't exactly think that one through. Should have done that. That makes the barrel fall. Whatever, that's fine. We'll just do that real quick. Do crates fall? No, they don't. Good. No, that's not the way to go. Wait, no, that was right. I'm dumb. Losing my mind. Hello. Quadrangular. I thought it was quadrangle. But then I was like, no, there's no R. How you doing today? Doing fine. Yeah, that's probably how I'd say my stuff's going too. Actually, probably less than fine. I lost some progress today, which was unfortunate. I have misplaced my elk and cannot find it because of the no map. So, yeah. It's definitely not around my base, so I can't even use, like, the flute thing to summon it back. Just a series of unfortunate events one after another. So I have no elk now, which makes me sad. It is a bit of a blow to progress, but that's okay. So now I'm focusing on trying to speed through what I can for the winter here and see if I can get some iron, maybe if I can find an iron source. I had a reading for it and it's been driving me nuts. The last like 3 streams have been looking for it and I can't find it. So I'm sort of just looking for it everywhere I go now. I don't even remember what direction it was because every direction I've gone has been wrong. I'm like, I thought it was south, so I headed south. Nope. I'm like, maybe it's west. Nope. Is it east? No. Well, I don't think it's north. So... And because I've just moved over to this area, it was as soon as I completed the Lazaret. So I just moved over here. And so now I don't know this area very well. I don't have it mapped out like I do at my other house where I know where everything's at. Mapped out in my brain, I should say, because I don't actually have the map. So what's this game about? Why was something clipping through the door a bit? Oh, these. Yeah. So it's like Minecraft, but like really difficult. More realistic. So, yeah, those guys are drifters. They are sort of the equivalent to a Minecraft zombie. They will get you. But they can also drop stuff. They throw rocks at you. This game is, yeah, very difficult game. Come on. There we go. But it's a beautiful and very rewarding game. If you can get into it and you enjoy difficult survival games, Vintage Story is a very, very, very good game. Pretty much, honestly. Like, there are other people, but like, unlike Minecraft, Minecraft has a bunch of villagers and villages that you can like exploit and stuff. This game is very realistic where like villages are somewhat rare. That like, and I don't, so far in the story, I think there's only one village, but so villages are extremely rare because there's one. It's part of the story that you get to it. And you, when you trade with traders, because there's specific people in the wilderness that will trade things with you. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. There's specific people that will actually trade things with you. They have a limited supply of things that they'll trade. Their inventory restocks pretty slowly. They're often, like, they have a limited supply and they tend to be pretty far away. There's no way to, like, manipulate their stuff like you can in Minecraft. So if they don't have what you want, then you just wait until they do. You've got to worry about food. You've got to worry about seasons. In my case, I worry about cave-ins and block gravity, so there's landslides and stuff like that. I don't have a map, which this game usually depends pretty heavily on a map. Unlike Minecraft, your spawn is pretty much always in a specific location unless you have a very rare item that will, well, I guess somewhat rare item that will reset it. I'm far enough along in the game that I'm like a good distance away from my spawn location and have things to set my spawn here, but they're temporary. It only sets your spawn for 3 uses, and then if you die 3 times, it goes away. So you have to use another one. So I'm very much like foraging on my own. I have to like make roads and landmarks and stuff that I can use to figure out how to get home and like level out harsh terrain and stuff like that. I have to learn the map and internalize it and, you know, have mental coordinates for everything. That's not typical. A typical playthrough has a map that you can just look at any time, and it shows information and you can put pins on it and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm specifically doing a challenge run. So if you liked Minecraft but didn't like the fact that you could like fly around using fireworks and that you could fish magical enchanted gear out of water, and didn't like that you were literally setting up farms for human beings to get them to trade things with you, Vintage Story might be the game for you because it's much more realistic. Bears will 1 or 2 shot you. With armor, they'll 3 shot you. Wolves are very dangerous. Animals are hard to tame and breed and that type of stuff. So it's a very difficult game, but it's always nice with Vintage Story. If you've never heard of Vintage Story and you know nothing about it, people look at it and they're like, oh, it's like Minecraft. So you always start with the Minecraft thing, and then you set the expectations as it's very difficult. So even if you don't play Minecraft that much, maybe you did, maybe you know a little bit about it, it's a good reference point, I think, to start with. What's really cool about this game, though, is it has mechanics that Minecraft doesn't have, and not just like stuff like this, where I'm milling grain and turning it into flour, which then turns into dough and you bake it and stuff. But they have a whole chiseling mechanic where you can take basically any block and shape it however you want. So Minecraft has blocks, you build things out of blocks. This game has the blocks, but then inside the block are voxels, because it's a voxel-based game. So each one of those can be replaced in a block. So like on my screen right now, I have wooden planks, but the top 2 layers of voxels have been replaced with stone that I manually put on there. So I have like basically a stone countertop like cabinet thing. And that's just base Vintage Story. It's very, very good. Very fun. The creativity in this game to make realistic looking homes just by having a hammer and a chisel, it's insane. You can do so much with it. If you don't want to have like blocky things, I haven't done much chiseling other than this because it takes a long time and I stream for entertainment. So I imagine that most people don't want to just sit me and watch me chisel for 3 hours. Personally, I also wouldn't enjoy that, but you know, like it's a whole thing you can do, and it's really crazy. It's a medieval world, somewhat fantasy, but not like dragons and stuff like that. There's like a magic and a like alternate dimension and stuff that all the evil creatures come from. Yeah, you can chisel out a small statue. I don't know if I still have a picture of it, but hang on, let me see if I can find one for you of one that I chiseled. It was in a conversation with a person a long time ago. Let's see if I can find it real quick. If I cannot, it doesn't look like it's there. I have a video on YouTube that shows it, but I chiseled a Minecraft polar bear, shrunk down in scale, but I chiseled one in this game and had him as like a little statue. So yeah, you can do a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, I could pull up some examples just Googling it too. If we some people are insanely creative with it. That's a good one. This one's a bit blurry. Let's see if I can find a good one here. This one's good. This one is like a glass sculpture. Let me, I gotta check the bread and make sure it doesn't burn real quick. Biologically accurate dragons. That would be terrifying. Yeah, that would be awful. That would suck. Let me show you, let me pull up my browser real quick. Just to show you some examples. And then story off. Okay, so heck. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do that. So like this. In Vintage Story, there is like colored textured glass. This is a the heck you call it? Like cathedral-like glass. I gotta make sure my bread's not burning. I have to like switch between the two. Hang on. But like you can do that type of stuff with real blocks, not modded. That's just how the game is. Let me swap out the bread real quick and they'll show you more. I have to make sure that doesn't burn. So let's close out of this and let's look at this. This is just like on their forums, right? So somebody chiseled a bear out of like different stones, placed him over there. This is like a mural with a bee. That's another mural. These are homes that people make with like textured glass and ledges and stuff like this. Another example of something like that. Like a whole like dining room area and like really cool stuff. Cellars, paintings. Like some of these things are real blocks in the game. Like these are half hammers for smithing. And there's mechanical power using windmills, but like, yeah, this is really cool, really awesome stuff. Welcome back, Helia. Quad Angular here. I'm gonna call you Quad if that's cool. Quad here was asking about Vintage Story. So, of course, we talked about how it's like Minecraft, but better. And then we talked about chiseling. So that's what we were getting on about, just talking about stuff and to show them, you know, kind of what Vintage Story is all about and what's cool about it and that type of stuff. I don't have any of the fancy stuff in my house. So what happened, I mentioned it before, is I moved from my primary base to another location completely, so I'm essentially starting over. And because of that, I have not really that much. You know, I have a very, very, very basic house. I'm surviving off of, like, the worst foods in the game. And I just lost a bunch of progress earlier today, so I'm even set back a little further than I normally would be. It was raining in your town for 4 days nonstop? Yeah, the chat is a bit small. I could expand it, but then it makes the game window even smaller. Wait until I play the but make it beautiful challenge. See you, Red. Have a good day. Yeah, it can be a bit hard to see the other chat. Especially because the, you know, stream quality might not be as high or whatever. It's tough. And also it's small, you know, it's hard to do that, but it's the biggest I can make it without making the game tiny too. Nope, put the bread away. I want to cook the other bread. I could make the font a little bit bigger, but then you see less conversation. Like, also the container that it's in, I don't want to break that right now. So yeah, it's a work in progress. I will make it a little bit bigger though, because it's something I've noticed too. I just haven't had time to do it. Been very busy tackling everything else between personal life and trying to do YouTube stuff too at the same time. I think increasing the font size is still going to break it because I've messed with it before and it's broken it. I'm not increasing the chat window, but increasing the font size has broken it before. So, with the way that I have it set up. Nobody wants their cringe messages on screen forever. Well, then don't be cringy. Cause a lake in your town to overflow and the small river to swell. From 3 centimeter depth to 1 meter? Dang. That's a lot. Okay, bye. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with you? The rain wasn't torrential, so it just like rained constantly. Like you said, it was like a few days, so... Yeah, Quad, I'm dual streaming. I have Twitch and YouTube streams. Most of the people that are in the chat right now are on Twitch. So, if you don't see it, that's what I was talking about making the font a little bit bigger so that people can read it a little easier. But because I have dual streams, I'm interacting with both. So... I will mess with the font size of the chat. The way I have it set up, the thing that I use, I think it does break it a little bit. So I'll have to mess with that outside of stream. Then it snowed, but thank God it was too warm for ice to form. Ice triggers my PTSD. Ooh. Do you live in a colder climate where snow is common, or was it rare for you to have snow? Because I live where snow is common during these months. How much bread am I cooking? 64. Because I turned a stack of grain into dough, and then the dough into flour, then the flour into dough, and the dough into bread. Trust me, it won't last that long. I live in a balanced climate. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. I mean, I can kind of say the same. It depends on the time of year, but right now is, you know, it's warm. It's April now, so it's quite late into the year for us to be having snow, but we do get it still, depending where you are in my state. I need my lantern. It's also nighttime again. So we'll sleep through the night and then go out and explore some more. You got PTSD from a downhill sledding incident. Yeah, no, it's not fun if you have real PTSD. If I laughed, I apologize. A lot of people use PTSD as like a, you know, like, oh, I have PTSD from this, and they don't actually have it. But if you actually have it, no, that's not fun. Souffle will have to be on his own for a little while. It's too cold. And I don't have the food to go on another journey like that. I have no more pie and basically no filling for pie. So, Souffle will have to be on his own, unfortunately. Hell yeah. Also, it's still far too dark out for me to do anything. So, more floor, I guess. We will get him soon. Ish. I'll try to find him off stream if I can, but it's gonna be, what I really need to do is fast forward to where it's warmer so I'm not freezing all the time and it's lighter later in the year, so that way I can actually go long distances. But I also need real food, so it's probably not gonna be until the summer at this rate. And unfortunately, it's a holiday weekend coming up, and despite it supposedly being a good time, I'm not looking forward to going and visiting my family. I don't hate my family or anything like that, but it's such a waste of time to, like, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, we literally don't do anything special for the holiday. And so we just go up there and we sit in a house for 3 days and then we come back, and it's a long journey. I have to travel 3 hours north just to go visit my family, and we don't really end up doing anything most of the time. So that's what I don't like about it. If I was just going for Easter Sunday, visiting my family, that was a temporal gear that fell down the ladder, I'd be very happy, because we'd go and we'd have, you know, Easter lunch or dinner, you know, maybe go to a church service because I am religious, you know, that type of stuff, and I wouldn't mind it. But instead, we usually go up there, nobody does anything, and then we come home. And I'm like, why am I up here? Because now it's delaying things. I won't be able to stream on Friday, and then I'm gonna miss D&D on Saturday, and I'm gonna not be able to make anything for YouTube like I normally do, because I'm going to be locked in a house doing nothing. And I hate it every time it happens. I wish it wasn't that way, but unfortunately, it's just how it is, I guess. Just don't go. Well, I kind of don't have an option, Because if I don't go, then my own mother is stranded and can't get home. She doesn't have a car. And I have just not gone for several months. It's not like I just saw them recently. I have not gone. We didn't even do Christmas up there. So it's been a while. But it's just every time it comes around, it's this all the time. It's sit around, do nothing, and then come home. And it's just a huge waste of time. Meanwhile, you know, my family would be like, how's work going? How's the job search going? And I'm like, well, I can't do it because I'm here. And we're not doing anything, really. It's mostly my mom just, like, she wants to see her family. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are times when it's like, it'll be like, let's say a Friday night. And we're not doing anything. And we've already done all the holiday stuff. The other family members have all gone home, and we're just staying with my grandma. And I'll be like, well, I could head home now. If it were me, I would leave. But, you know, my mom doesn't want to go out at night or whatever, so I'm like, you know, she'll be like, oh, we can leave in the morning, or we can do this. So we delay it, and we leave, like, Sundays. So because Sunday is Easter, I will be there until at least that long. And I'm leaving Friday sometime. I'm gonna try to make it more Friday evening myself, so that I have more time. But yeah, not to rant about that, because I love my family, I really do, but unfortunately, age hits us all in a really poor way, and all of my family members that I was really close to growing up, grew up, got families of their own, and then are, you know, busy. When I was a kid, and it was my aunt and uncle, and they didn't have a family, they would just, like, be around. Or, you know, if they were married but didn't have kids yet, they would just be like, yeah, we don't have any real reason to be home. And now it's like, no, we can't because the kids have practice and have to do this thing, and they're always busy. So they only ever come over for one day while we're up there for 3. Anyway. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat. Back to the sledding PTSD thing. Downhill at the speed of a car, landed on my pelvis, and somehow didn't suffer any fractures. Dang, that's insane. I just feel the pain when I think about it, and it unsettles you. I mean, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Why does every person I meet get some cool holidays every month or something? It's Easter. Easter is, and always has been, a big holiday for at least Christians. And a lot of the US, though it's a Sunday. Easter is Sunday, so it's not like I get it off. But also, this is my job right now, is streaming and YouTube, so, you know, I get it off because I say so. Which I will say is a very nice feeling to have. To be able to be like, this is my day because I deem it that way. It's something I've never had in my own life, because if I was working at my last job, there'd be a good chance I'd be working on Easter. So, it's a very big holiday, and not that you have to, you know, be Christian or anything. Easter is Easter. It's usually pretty big for a lot of, at least the US, because of, you know, the Easter Bunny and egg hunts and kids doing this, and, you know, it's like, it's mostly an excuse to have a spring holiday. It's, again, a Christian holiday that turned into a, you know, non-secular celebration for everybody, which is fine. But it's like Christmas, except for the springtime. Instead of Santa Claus and presents, it's Easter Bunny and Easter eggs, so I think that's why it mostly exists. Me being a Christian, though, we celebrate it a little bit more, you know, faithfully. It's a get-together, but also a time to, you know, remember our faith and share it together as a family. So... And that's fair enough, Helia. Not being Christian, not celebrating Easter, perfectly fine. There are a lot of non-Christians that still celebrate Easter just because Easter Bunny and Easter egg hunts, because it's fun, it's spring, it's something to do. You've been locked inside your house all winter, you might as well have a nice, you know, somewhat temperate day. Let the kids go out, have some fun, give them some candy. You know, make colorful spring-like things. That's what Easter's turned into, for the most part. For most people. I've ever rode on a train. Riding on a train is cool, both cinematic and fast. I have not. I live in America. We don't really have trains. We have one type of train other than subway systems, but I don't live anywhere that has a subway system. We don't have public transportation in America, which is kind of the worst thing. I mean, we do, but it's very small and very limited. We have buses that will ferry you across the city if you're lucky enough to be in a big enough city to actually have public transportation. We don't have trains other than Amtrak, which is in very bad, very poor condition, and our rail system is in very poor condition as well. Oh, wolves. Lots of wolves. Ow. 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 Leave me alone, wolf. No, I'm stuck on terrain again. Stop. Ow. God. Why is it always the terrain? Why is it always the terrain? What? Wrong door. Dang it. Now I gotta go run out in the middle of the field. Yeah, the US rail system is in shambles. There are accidents very frequently. Huge messes. We don't put any effort into maintaining our rail system because the car industry existed. And now we have all our automotive manufacturers lobbying our government, and that's somehow not illegal. And so we don't invest in public transportation because that means less sale of automobiles. Very fun. I wish we had public transportation because I would much rather, for something like this holiday, if I had a way to take a train to go see my family, I would. Because it's going to cost me an entire tank of gas to go up there. And gas in the US is really expensive right now because we're attacking people we shouldn't be attacking. And that means I have to pay, you know, $50 for a tank of gas in a fuel-efficient car, a hybrid and everything, just so that I can go visit my family. It's just, I hate traveling. I hate the way things are right now. Not to be a super pessimistic downer, but holidays are not fun for me. They should be times to relax and go see family, but instead it's a bunch of stress of finances and, you know, how are you going to use your time wisely? Because I'm very focused and always trying to use my time efficiently. Hi, Gracie. Well, we might have to pause the game for Gracie real quick. It's Gracie time. Hi, Gracie. Thank you. Your presence is so calming. Cat makes everything so much better. Cats are cute, ticks aren't. Yeah, she doesn't go outside. Or she does, but under supervision and in a harness, usually. Unless I let her just outside. She likes to sit on our back patio. And that's, like, not far. It's like a meter from the door, so... she's allowed to go out there, but if she starts exploring, she gets to put on her cat harness and we go for walks. This is the stream now and I'm not mad. Well, she might be. Thank you, Gracie. Hi, Meow. You got a tick removed once. The doc grabbed some special tape and ripped the tick off. No tweezers. Is it ticks that you can suffocate? Because they burrow into your skin. If you use tweezers, they will dig deeper, and I think the head of the tick can come off. So they actually recommend that you don't use tweezers unless you're insanely careful with it. Because then you have a bigger problem of how do you get the head out. But if you, like, I think cut off the oxygen, then they try to get out so they can breathe. They back out, and then because it, you know, tape or something like that they stick to, they can't get away, and then you just get rid of them. But I don't remember if that's ticks or something else. I've never had a tick myself. Where is my stuff? Where was that wolf? Where did I die? I should have a lantern that's lighting up the area, showing me where I died. And there will be bread there if I can find it. There's yet another bear. Everything looks the same out here. This is why I need to, like, terraform everything. I caused this landslide, and then I think I came up here. And then... Should I jump over this? At the small river. I should have a big glowing light source telling me right here Why do I not see my lantern? I broke this, and then did I go this way? Is that a wolf? What are you? Bush. Over here. Okay. I'm gonna get attacked by this wolf before I can pick up my stuff because I won't see it. Bread. Yeah, I think I have everything. It's just a matter of not dying again. And now arson. Probably, honestly. No, what I was trying to do was go on this adventure out here during the day so that I could, make like a new landmark of some kind and continue venturing north looking for iron. But I have to be careful because there are bears and wolves out here, and even though I took out one wolf, there's at least another bear, and I have a pit of wolves and a bear in it. And there was that other wolf that I didn't manage to eliminate. My health is super low because my nutrition is non-existent because I'm out of food. So, yeah, maybe I don't go exploring and I have to wait until the summer, which is unfortunate. God. What is this? Well, in any case, I'm gonna have to end stream soon, basically as soon as I get back to my home, and I will try to make progress as I can before the next stream, but because I have so much other stuff going on, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do much. Maybe I can do an early stream Friday. There's copper there, nice. Today's just a busy day for me. Maybe tomorrow I'll have time to do stuff too. And then I won't be able to do anything as soon as I leave my house for 3 days. I lost my staircase. Right there. Maybe they will share their soup with you. I know that one person gave me a loaf of bread. I don't know about other foods though, honestly. I mean, I can go over there and look. I can do that real quick. I do have time for that. You know, on second thought, I should probably just end it here. I'll get sidetracked and I'll lose track of time, and then I won't have time to do the things I need to do, so I will have to leave it there, unfortunately. But thanks, guys, for stopping by today. Really, really appreciate it. It's been very fun, minus me failing at the game I'm playing, but it's been fun to talk. You can say bye to Gracie real quick. We'll turn the camera around so you can see her. What are you doing, Gracie? Thank you. All right. Have a good evening, day, afternoon, whatever it is for you, everyone. I will see you, if not Friday, Monday, hopefully. Bye-bye.